going on, blue chips? Sorry, I was having a little dilemma there with the wife about things. No, we were trying to figure out something finance-wise. I'm expecting proper behavior in the chat today. Those being the rules, I will put myself in a preemptive timeout. Oh, Vincenzo. Your purpose is hidden in plain sight. Slow down, pay attention, and you will find it. Let's get to it. All right, Friday. No kids. Took them over to my dad's for the morning. It's going to be kind of nice, can focus. Minus the fact that my brain is all over the place now. Talking to my wife about that for the last 5 minutes. You ever have those times where you do something and then about, I don't know, like 2 weeks go by or something like that, and then it comes up again and you have no idea why you did what you did? Yeah, that was kind of what happened. So we were trying to figure it out, and I can't seem to figure it out. But I'm sure we'll figure it out when we have time to actually sit down, because I was trying to get on here with you guys. And yeah, I'm just going to be using the scanners today. I don't really see anything that I liked. I jumped on a little bit earlier and was kind of rolling through. So we are in the beta version for a new thing going on with the ISW scanners. Just to let you guys know, we're kind of testing it out within the team. But if you are someone that is keen on trading penny stocks, you are now going to have the ability to trade some penny stocks. Take a look here. Penny scan is going to have the same plus I3 scan, the minus I3 scan. You're going to have the gappers up and down, and you're going to have the unusual volume from the penny scanners, which is actually something that's pretty key, because a lot of the penny stocks, you're really looking for that unusual volume, right? I mean, just it's pretty active that day. So another thing too is on the scans, there's going to be a float rotation, a volume surge, and then you have like the 52-week high and low, 200-day MA crossover, and the 50-day MA crossover. So these are some new additions as well. Pretty cool. The float rotation one is actually pretty cool if you play the low float stocks, because if something is rotating through its float, the odds are it's going to be pretty bullish on the day, right? And the same with volume surge. That's kind of like your Momo scanner. But to me, I don't really see the point in the volume surge, because that's kind of what the intensity scanners are already doing. And, you know, we'll see how they work out. It's pretty cool that they're being added, and the crossovers are pretty cool for people that look for that kind of stuff. But yeah, well, we can talk about it a little bit more later. But as of right now, we got about 25 seconds here to the bell, and we're going to see if we can't find anything good. Marketing, what's going on? Hi, Tim. Was the wife mad about the drunk stream? No, I don't think so. Were you mad about me getting drunk?
I was mad about you not getting out of bed.
She was mad about me not getting out of bed. Not about me getting drunk. But I guess those go hand in hand. So we'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully you guys don't get me drunk. I was planning on having a drink, not as strong, but we'll see what happens. TEDU going off on the scanners here at the bell. Good luck, everybody, today. Stay green. Remember, stay within your risk parameters. Try to be consistent and do not be forcing trades. MESO actually looks really nice here. We don't have any shares, though. This is actually an 80 mil float. Look at this thing move. It's about to halt to the upside. We're just going to keep looking around. We can't play that one anyway, so no point in watching it. BBBY making a move through previous resistance here. Range on that thing is not that good. We've actually played that in the past. FCX here. Maybe a shot up through 850 we'd be interested. See if this thing can make a move. SPY tried to gap up again. Well, it did gap up. It's kind of in a range right now. Did Mesa, yeah, MESO, that thing halted. Like I said, we don't have any shares there, though. PTEN, the range isn't that great, but we'll see if this wants to continue. Coco, welcome. My EQT trying to halt here. Dang, I missed it. I was about to hit it. I straight up missed it. I was evaluating the chart because I just pulled it up. Okay, headed right back up here. What? I can't short it. We got to short it on the ask. Crappers. See if we can't get a fill here. Crap. 141. So we wouldn't have got filled anyway trying to hit the bid earlier. I didn't realize it was on SSR. All right, well, we missed that one. That was a pretty good extension there. Let's try not to get behind here. Let's scroll through. Sometimes I get behind and I start pulling up alerts just a little too late. So that would have been a nice one there on EQT if it was not on SSR. You saw we tried to hit the bid there at 40. Would have already gotten filled on the big flush there. Man, look at that. Yeah. Silly SSR. Got us. It's okay. We'll move on, right? It's only one trade. That's the other beauty about our strategy is no matter the move it makes afterwards, unless we're scaling out, there's really not much we can do as far as complaining that we would have made more money on a certain trade regardless of the move it makes. So it's kind of a nice thing. DCP making an interesting move off the bottom here. Here goes that FCX. See if we can get that move up through 850 here. It did have a pullback though, and you can see it here on the chart, right? Pullback to VWAP, and now it's going up. So I'd like to see this 867 area try to get tested. Really nothing else on my radar at the moment. Here we go. See if we can get this pop through 850. Like if it goes through 850 right to 870, that would be ideal. That's what we're looking for. CGPD. It looks like it's getting rejected here at 850. Right at 850. It touched it. There we go, we're through. Let's see if we can get that push. A pretty decent order sitting there at 52, at least it says there is. A lot of stocks with some decent volume here that are not, that don't have a very good range. WTI is one, SM. A lot of them are making decent moves, just no range on them. Dang, stock W making a move. This thing has just been uppity up. Back in March it was at $20, and now we're almost at 120. This thing is nuts. So this thing pretty much, I mean, it's kind of moving with the SPY, I guess. What's the SPY doing? The SPY's actually headed, looks a little heavy right now. CRC is another one that looked really good, just no range. We didn't have any shares on that one anyway. The heck?
I have no idea.
What do you have in there?
His sheets and then the pillows in the wash machine.
That's probably the pillows. This FCX, I mean, it's really the only thing that's even appetizing us, and I still am not seeing really anything else that I'm interested in. Scrolling through a bunch of charts here. There we go. See if we can. We just need this thing to squeeze. Give us a nice squeeze right up there to 870. I'd be game. Float on this is a little bit higher if I remember. So that's probably what's keeping it from really moving. Oh geez, I didn't even realize it's a 1.45 billion float. I didn't realize it was that high. I was just talking to David yesterday saying I was going to lower my float filter on the top side to 1 billion, because once these things make pretty big moves, it's really hard to get them to make a decent pullback. And of course, as I say that, I mean, but still, that was only what, 8 cents. Let's take a look at COF here. This is a bummer so far. Come on, give us something. What would we be looking for here? 60. Got some here at 58. The COF is an interesting one. Keeping an eye on it, but not too sure we'd be that interested. Another chart that looks good, SRNE, but I mean, it's literally in a 10-cent range. Texas is reopening next week? Really? I don't know if that's good or bad. I think Maryland is very much not a state that's looking to open anytime soon. I think they had said they're going to be following the recommendations. So the 14 days of decline, I think, is what our state of Maryland is looking for. The SPY being nice and heavy this morning is not helping our case here. Jeez, look at COF there. We're good at pulling charts up and watching them make moves. I mean, granted, they're not really the moves we're looking for. This MESO, this thing is just whipping back and forth, what, 4 or 5 points at a time? That's pretty crazy. It's actually halted to the downside, I see. The minus I3 scan is kind of going off here. Let's take a gander over at some of these. What? There's really nothing at low of day though. Let's go up to the low of day scanner, see what we can find. Texas had 4 days straight, no deaths. So I guess that's why. Gotcha. Well, that'd be hard to decline if you're solely basing it off of deaths. You can't really go less than 0. I mean, obviously that's why they can't wait until it's at 0, because if you're using 14 days based off of that, I mean, you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure. You would almost permanently be there because you're most likely going to get a death every once in a while. I mean, there's no way you're going to go the next 10 days without 1 death. I'm sure there's going to be at least 1. I mean, obviously that's sad, but it's just the reality that we're in right now. So here's an example. I pulled up the penny stocks, ENSV, making the same kind of move, right? You would just need to add some shares to this thing, right? But look at this. It's the same moves that we're looking for, right? Previous resistance, big intense move, and you're looking for the reversal, the pullback, right? It's looking like it's trying to start here. And you still have floats on these. You still have everything. So see if I can pull up an extra one here. So you can see right here, ENSV right at the top. Look at the I3 on this. It's humongous, 47 mil float, so not too bad. Can't really ask for much more. I mean, this is what the scanner just shoots out at you all day. What is HOTH doing? Oh, it got halted. Lottery sales jumped up because of the stimulus check. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't doubt that. And I finally got my check, but I'm using that for my business, not lottery. That's very smart of you. Indonesia market stop short selling. Wait, what? I don't know what that means, Dennis. Here's another one right off the, you guys saw this on the scanner. I had pulled it up on the bottom chart here. But yeah, same difference, right? If you guys are into the penny stocks, there you go. Now you got a scanner for it. You have the amazing technology of the ISW scanner for penny stocks. Like how awesome is that? If you trade penny stocks. I don't. Maybe in the future I will. The reason I don't is because the range is such crap. I mean, look at that pullback right there. Boom. Amazing. But in reality, if your commission structure is not bad, all you're doing is just buying more shares, right? It's the same moves. You would just say, okay, this is a $2.70 stock, so you just add a 0, right, to your share size, and everything is the exact same. But where it gets someone like me is if I were to just start adding zeros to my share size, I am now playing with the commissions being a lot higher. So if you have a pretty good set commission structure, it could work out very well in your favor. And penny stocks are something that you could play, right? You could just have them up, and every single move that you see, you can play. VXRT right off the scanner here. Again, not really a lot of range. We don't have any shares. It's on the SSR as well. So I'm curious if I want to take a look at the float rotation one here. So you see here MDGS. It's got a 4 mil float, but it's already traded 5.3 million. So this thing already went through a float rotation. I'm not exactly sure how he has it set up, because as you can see, WLL has 91 mil in the float, but you got 21 mil volume. So we're not really quite there with float rotation. Maybe it's anything that's like over 20%. It's like looking that it could be towards a float rotation. BYND, that would prove my theory wrong. So I'm not sure. I'll have to ask how stocks make it onto this list. But basically, I mean, you're looking for the ones that have volume that are near, if not more, than its float. So OSTK trying to make a decent move here. No shares on SSR. It's kind of the story of the day. We're really going to have 2 days this week where we don't get a trade. I mean, we tried to get an EQT earlier. That made a beautiful move. We would have basically top ticked it. It's not letting me click my chart. Why? Let's see if we can do this. There we go. Our order was at 1341. We were on the ask, and yeah, we tried to market into it with the bid. Well, we didn't try to market into it, but we tried to hit the bid there at 1340, and then that was when we realized it was on SSR. So we tried to jump on the ask at 1341, and we didn't get any fill. That would have been a winner chicken dinner. Got Roku to the downside here. Last time I played this stock was to the long side, and it bit me. Honestly, I'm not in the mood to play the long side today, especially seeing that the SPY is pretty heavy. I'm just going to leave it alone. GDT killing it today. That was where I got the alert from Roku. GDT and ISW. Cannot find anything. This is crazy. This was the only one that we may have traded, but once I saw the float on this, I had no interest. Trying to show you guys how much. Hold on, my thing is. There we go. There it is. Mr. GDT. Look at how excited he is today. Killing it. He played Roku, BYND, and what was the other one that he had earlier? Oh, he got in EQT. So BYND, I'm assuming he was in on this move. Looks like he might have fought it a little bit, but then he got the nice pullback. The power of scaling in there. Very, very wet. That's not a stock, is it? Looks like it is a stock that's halting to the down. I'm just confused. This like doesn't even have volume. It's got 2 volume on the day. Oh, you were trying. Guess that was an accident. Take a look at some penny stocks. See if we even have any shares available in any of these. VXRT? That's funny, I just pulled that one up. We don't have any shares there anyway. It's very boring when I have nothing else to focus on. I have no kids. Look, I even still got one earphone off because I'm so used to it. Like, there's nothing to do. I feel like usually, at least when the market is kind of this boring, I can do something with the kids. Sometimes, guys, I mean, this is the reality of trading. Trading can be very boring. If you're sitting here waiting for your strategy to pop its head up, you're not always going to find it. The heck? Oh, the chart was a little slow there. Yeah, we don't have shares on any of these penny stocks. So that's the only thing is if you'll have access to the scanner with the penny stocks, but whether they'd be worth anything to you, I guess really depends on the broker that you're using. I mean, now granted, that's if you're a short bias trader. Now, if you're looking at the minus I3 scan, let's take a look at that. Let's see. Pennies minus. Let's see if we can find anything on here. FTSI. Let's So it's getting ready to break support there. CHAP. So these charts look very similar.
Right. Okay.
They're just penny stocks.
I know. Good.
So yeah, nice little move to the downside here. Again, it's all relative, right? Instead of it being a point move, it's 10 cents. So, or yeah. So you just have to add a zero. Add a zero to everything. I guess that's how you would trade penny stocks. Just start adding zeros.
That's true. That's true. Very, very true. Mm. That's a win for them. Yeah. Right. That's what I was thinking. People probably take some of those people. You know.
The only one I feel I missed was the scoop on WWE. Yeah, the bell. Yeah, it's a little interesting. Yeah, it does look like it could have been spready.
Sorry. Good. Good. I didn't. If you let someone go. Well, good. I'm glad. Yes.
This is boring. CGBD ended up making it up to the 660 area, just very slowly, which we are obviously not interested in.
We have $7,000. That's it. That is it.
FCX was the other one that we were looking at, and that one's making a nice little drop here.
That's it.
It's funny, they were at the, I think that's the one I was actually talking about, was FCX, that we drew that line at 867. What was the ticker that we were just on? CGBD? Oh, it was 660. Okay, so that was close.
Well, because they want to make their 20%.
It was the 60 part that got me. Look at that, nice little descending triangle. Ended up completing itself fairly nicely. If I can draw the right line here.
Was 27,000. So they only passed 20.
I can't click very well today. There we go. Actually completed itself fairly early, but nice little one there. $10 shots tonight? No. I was actually mad that I took $40 shots. I might have to up it so you guys can't keep making me take shots. I don't even know how. I still don't really fully understand how that happened last night. I went back and looked and saw that Todd had mentioned something about doing shots or taking donations while watching the movie Rounders. And somehow that segued into me taking a shot for $40. I have no idea where $40 came from. I don't know how any of that really happened. And I never really went back and watched it, to be honest. Definitely was confused. See if this is as good as my dad proclaimed. He made salmon yesterday. Not bad. Tastes like salmon. MESO getting killed from the highs here. Ended up getting a high of 2057 all the way back down to 15. Actually went all the way down to 1433. It's a little crazy because I'm reading this as an 80 mil float, but I'm starting to think that that's not the case. Let's take a look. Do I have the right? Oh, how did I get Verizon out of MESO? Yeah, on Yahoo it says 81.74 million. Mine's reading 80 million on the scanner. I guess it's an interesting one. I mean, it does have a ton of volume, so just interesting that it's trading this way. What it could mean is that there is somebody that has a very large position, which then makes the float a lot lower than it actually is. So there might be 80 mil available to the public, but say somebody actually owned 60 million of said float, right? Because down here when it was only at $4 or $6, or even when it was all the way down near $3-4, someone could have bought up a ton of the float. So who knows? The heck? This is one heavy pillow. So for all you guys that are here today, if you are new, the name's Tim. We have Friday night live streams. We do them at 10:30 Eastern. So if you guys want to check that out, it's kind of one last little dose of the stock market. It's what Thomas was talking about. That's why he was asking if I'm taking $10 shots tonight. Last Friday, somehow I had made myself a drink, and I started feeling pretty good at the end of that drink. And somehow it led to me taking shots for $40 a piece. And I don't understand how it happened, but it did. And yeah, I don't plan on doing that again because the next day was not the best. But I mean, I don't think I was really hungover, but staying up that late as well as drinking that much, it just never really goes hand in hand, especially when you have kids. So I'm gonna attempt to stay away from that tonight. But I do plan on having that initial drink. I'm just not so sure about them shots afterwards. It was a fun night, though. I will say it was actually a good, very much needed type of night as well. Being quarantined with a 2 and 4-year-old, as well as my wife, has not been the easiest of times. I haven't got to eat dinner on my dining room table since this all started. She took over it with her workstation. Excuse me. Guys, I'm just sitting here waiting. I mean, it is Friday, so I mean, this is to be expected. But I mean, come 10:30, it's usually not a good sign if nothing is already kind of done its thing. Taking a look at the SPY, this thing's just chopping around at its lows for the day, right around the close from yesterday. So B just said CAPR. We don't have any shares here. Decent little move there. I don't even see that on. Oh, it's a lower float. That's why. Let's see CAPR. 7.7 mil float. I would have been down to probably try to play it, but I mean, the range isn't that great. Again, with the float for me now, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm not scaling in the trades where the float can really take advantage of me. When I enter a trade, I have a set risk. So either I hit that risk or I hit my take profit. And it's that simple right now. So just one of those days where we can't seem to find anything to trade. It's MESO attempting. Apparently we're having an earthquake. Can you guys hear that? It's so loud. TaylorMade, the answer would be no. It's actually the one area that CMEG lacks is having shares available for shorts on small caps. As you can see, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I had pulled up the penny scan for the plus I3, the ones that you would be looking for shorts, and pretty much everything I rolled through, just absolutely nothing. I mean, I'm just gonna sit here and roll through some of these to see if we have any on any of them. PAC-D we've actually traded in the past. I mean, as you can see, I mean, just nothing. So if I had to answer you there, I would say no. Now, can you locate these? I don't know. Let's find out. Short locate. Let's pop this baby out. Let's see, AXAS. Let's say 1,000 shares. Inquiring. So there you go. So they're actually pretty cheap too. So you can find them. You just have to locate them. See if they're actually a little bit more expensive on that route. Let's try ASRT. The same thing. So they're actually not that expensive. right? That would be $7.50, right? The other ones that would have been $5 for AXAS for 1,000 shares. CHAP, same thing, $5 per 1,000. TRCH, again, same. Oh, well, this one only has 90 available. ASRT, $7.50 per 1,000. So, I mean, they seem to be there. SNSS, same thing, $5. So, looks like you could locate them. I don't really like to locate. There is a $25 fee every time you do locate, but if penny stocks are your thing and you just want to be with CMEG and don't have the 25 grand for an American broker, or if you're outside the US, there you go. So you could locate them if you want. Yeah, they do charge you the 25 every time you locate. Just nothing today. I mean, the only thing that was even remotely interesting was that EQT. See what we can see if VNE wants to do something crazy here. Need some volume out of this. It's actually right at its last little key resistance area at 950. Looks like we may have already missed it. It's already pulling back here. SPY is attempting to move back up here towards VWAP. It's looking like a little bit of a bummer. I have 2 days this week with no trades. It's a little unfortunate, especially watching other people kill it. I mean, we did attempt to make trades. Both days that we didn't get a trade, we did attempt to make some trades. We just didn't get any fill. But yeah, GDT killed it today. Playing some of the higher price stocks, Roku and BYND, and then he also did get EQT earlier. Brian just doing his thing. all the small caps. If you do have the 25 grand available, Interactive Brokers apparently is the place to be. Brian, that's what Brian uses, and he's always killing it. Pretty much has shares on everything. I mean, let me just scroll through here from this morning. Let me just pull this over to show you guys. This is right from the live alert room. Let's see. So there's the EQT. Jeff GDT mentioned it. I also, literally at the same time, I was trying to get in it as they had mentioned it. So COF there from Brian. COF. MESO he was messing with. PEIX. FCX. HUSA. ENSV. Just kind of scrolling through the one he updates to PEIX. TRIP. Oh, that was V. CAPR. Just every day, guys. The dude is a monster. Absolute monster. I'm sitting here on my hands like, I can't find anything. And he's just like, blah, 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 blah. He's like, make quota times 50. I'm just like, ah. But, I mean, it also brings me, it's actually a good thing, believe it or not, to have people making money and you see it while your strategy is not being found. Because if you're not trading while that's happening, you're doing something right? You're fighting that FOMO. You're fighting that urge to trade just to trade. because you see other people making money. So always, you got to wait for your setup. If you have a specific setup that you're trading, wait for it. It'll come. Maybe not today, but hey, you got to capitalize when it is there. There's a reason you're trading that setup, because you know it works. So always keep that in mind. The heck? My dad left the skin on some of this salmon. I almost just ate it. Almost did it again. What the heck? He's got it like all over. Yeah, obviously it wouldn't kill me, but sure not my favorite thing to eat. Yeah, his criteria is a lot looser than ours as well. When you have the ability to trade more as well, like when you've kind of quote unquote made it and you have the bankroll per se to kind of fling it around a little bit, you can take more. You can take more opportunity. You can take more risk because you have the ability to. I'm not saying I can't, especially with the way that my setup is now. I could literally jump into 10 trades all at once, but I'm not just going to jump into trades to jump into trades, right? I need my edge to be there, and I haven't been seeing it very much lately, where everyone's edge looks a little bit different as well. William Vivine, WV, is that a ticker? Because it's also your initials. You bragging? You bragging about something? SPY actually went through VWAP there. What are the airlines doing today? Just kind of following the SPY. CRC popping up on the scanner here off the bottom. We don't have any shares anyways. Not our play either. Looking like a double bottom. Does kind of look like it wants to go a little bit lower. Anybody play Counter-Strike? That's what that was. It's the anti-cheat for the client that I play on. Excuse me. Do 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 do. I just made a pretty good analogy for B. He was saying he's not sure why, but the penny stocks have been really fun to trade. And at first I was like, it's just because they're active. But then I was just like, it's kind of where all the new traders are. And I said, imagine being Shaq or Shaquille O'Neal, if you don't know who that is, famous basketball player, huge, dominant inside guy. Imagine being Shaq showing up to a kid's playground like to play basketball. Just like hold the ball up, come and get it. It's kind of funny, I thought. Ha 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 ha. What a boring morning, guys. What a boring morning. Sorry that I am not as entertaining. I'm pretty sure there are some other channels today that were a lot more entertaining than mine that are all trading these low float. I was about to use a word that starts with a gar and ends with a baj. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I consider this to be. But money is to be made there, but it's very unpredictable. It's definitely not what I plan on trading ever, especially not the way that most people trade them, looking for the breakouts. Because every time you take one of those breakout trades and you get paid that little bit through the breakout that you're taking because you're excited that it worked, all it takes is that fake out and you lose 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 times the amount that you won. So they are just not for me. Just being patient. I don't obviously want to sit around and not trade, but unfortunately that's just how it's going to be sometimes. Very unfortunate, but that is the case. CODX making a nice move here, but we don't have any shares. Got yesterday's resistance here at 1435, as well as the high from yesterday, 1450. Current previous resistance here at 1410. We'd be looking for that push up to 1435. It'd probably be a good spot to enter for multiple reasons, right? You got the resistance from yesterday. It would put your stop over the high from yesterday, and it puts your take profit right there at the resistance from today. So that'd actually be a perfect entry right there around 1435 if it got there on the same move. Yeah, for real. You guys are probably so used to hearing the kids and their tablets and the TV and stuff like that in the background. It's probably kind of weird that it's nice and quiet. What the? I was looking at Devin's trade from today, and it does not look like a Devin trade at all. So it had a little bit of a pullback here right to that previous resistance. So if it wants to consolidate and use that as support now, we wouldn't be as interested in that 1435 area. We'd be more interested in that 1450 area. Penny stock TRNX looking like it's gonna do something here. Brian got all excited. I'm assuming he mentioned it, so I think he's long here, looking for like the ascending triangle. I'm not exactly sure. Usually he would say if he's short, but he just mentioned the ticker. So I'm assuming he's long, looking for this ascending pattern to continue. There goes MESO. Is that thing moving again? Let's see. Oh, it actually halted? Oh, no. Okay. The chart just took a sec there to update. I was like, what? So this actually is looking pretty bullish, right? You're starting to get, it found the bottom. It's starting to form a lower high here, or higher low, sorry. It actually looks like it tried to use, like if you're in the technicals, it tried to use this previous resistance from the pre-market that it hit 3 times. It's trying to use it as support here. It tried here but failed, but now it's back above it, and now we're headed to the upside. You break this key level here, this 1730-ish area, this thing could definitely go. It's starting to curl a little bit. I think we're gonna call it, guys. I don't see anything happening. Usually right around this time is when something pops up, but it's 10:30 and there is no signs. The only thing that's moving are these penny stocks. A lot of them actually moving down at the current moment. Let's see, this is the minus I3 scan, HUSA. That one's, it's like the end, it's like they get pumped all morning. I'm actually kind of curious that, dang, look at AXAS here. LONE, I did LOME, LONE. It's pretty interesting. Let's take a look at the float rotation one. See what happens here. MDGS. This thing has rotated its float almost 5 times now. And when that happens, it's very bullish. Because every time you rotate your float, the current average, or the overall average for that 4 million in the float is getting higher and higher. So you have to remember that. Once you kind of break that downward cycle, and if you start rotating the float higher and higher, that means the average, there's really no reason for these people to sell. So if they're not selling and they're just looking for this thing to move higher, the imbalance is always going to be in the bullish direction. So it's pretty interesting. Maybe at some point tonight, I might be putting out a couple different, or start to make a couple different videos. David actually brought something to my attention. I'm going to show you guys real quick. If you guys are here, I'm going to show you something pretty interesting. So he showed me, and this is a little tidbit into a video that I'm going to make. But let me pull up the full screen here. Let me just sign in real quick. So. Okay. So watch this. You guys want to see something crazy? Watch this. So yesterday, I traded LABU and LYV, right? I ended up losing a little bit here, making a little bit on LYV, ended up with $5.17 after all said and done. Well, if I really wanted to take the time, I could make this look a little different. Watch this. Can you still see? You can't. That's okay. Or actually, let me move it a little bit so you can see it. All right. So that 517 is still down here. See it down here next to me? Actually, you know what? Let's make it bigger. There we go. Now you can really see it. There we go. You can see it. Okay. So watch this. This is some scary stuff here. Let's see, right click, inspect. Right click. Edit. Oops. I wanted to edit text. Edit text. You know what? Say I wanted to make $1,005.17 today. Well, there you go. And this is right off of the broker. Like you can literally, and like if I wanted to, let's add 1,000 to this one. Don't want people to think that. Oops, I keep hitting the wrong button here. So we need this to be a 5 now, right? There we go. So now I can just screenshot this little area. Hey, look, I made $1,000 today, and now my account's up $1,000. So just be careful, guys. Who you're watching. I didn't realize it was that easy, and this is right all. And how you can catch them is all you have to do. If for some reason you could get them, so you're watching them live, just make them hit the refresh button. Because watch what happens when you hit the refresh button. It goes back to where it's at. So if you see people making videos about their account statements and how they made this amount and all that, and you see, and it can be edited so that they can, take the time to go from one to the other, as far as like the next day or whatever, when they hit the refresh button, you have to be very careful with who you trust, guys. You have to be very careful because it's this easy to change it. So as you can see, obviously I hit the refresh button, so you know that this is the real amount, but I would hope at this point you guys know that I tell you guys the full, honest, transparent truth every single time anyway. But yeah, just be careful. That's all I gotta say. It's a shark eat shark type industry, and people will do anything to take the money out of your pocket and put it into theirs. So keep that in mind. I do plan to make a little bit more detailed video on that, but I am going to get out of here for now. So don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. I appreciate your support, and I will talk to you the rest of the day. Don't forget about the live stream tonight at 10:30 Eastern. I'll see you then. If I don't, have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys Monday morning. Peace.